Hello everyone, this is Abundance Oracle. It is Friday and now I've already had one cup of coffee. I'm going on my second one, so I'm a little bit more awake. What I want to share with you is what's going on with me, my thoughts for my own personal finances on what I'm working on. And I'm going to start you off by a little bit of a story about a man that put in a permit to build a larger addition, or larger, not just an addition to an existing ballroom, I'm going to call it. And he went to the town, and his lawyers went to the town and asked, okay, we'd like permission to be building a addition to what's currently there, or we could take and put a whole new ballroom up. So these people did not like the new gentleman that was considered more new money than old money, and he was, I'm going to say, very conservative, and so they turned him down. Okay, then his lawyers appealed the decision, and they still said no, which would have brought in a lot of additional income in taxes to the town. So it really started to become evident why they weren't allowing him to build, is because there was a bias against the new guy in town, and he was in a not so conservative town, and the people had a lot of money, so everyone was sort of arrogant about that fact. All right, now time goes on and he decides, well, he can't have a permanent structure. So one day I'm sitting there and like 4 trucks roll in, and they get out and they construct the most incredible, non-structural, hard tent. So it was actually a movable fixture, which didn't have to have any permit. But let me tell you about this. The floor was made of parquet. If you're not in construction, you might not know what that means. But in the old days, it's still around, but more prevalent in the old days. They're little squares of wood, and they have an intricate pattern. Now they're rather expensive if you do it right. And they interlock with one another. So technically they're not permanent, but the floor can be picked up and put down. And if it's on a big base, you can have easily removed if you needed to. Okay, then it was a it was a sewn tent that had windows sewn into this very heavy canvas, and chandeliers got put up, and a place for the band to go, and that was all set up lickety-split in no time. And you know what? A non-permanent structure with such extravagance, almost like a ballroom, you didn't have to pay taxes on. So the town, for all its arrogance, lost out on a lot of money. The other thing is, he wanted to put a flagpole up that was a tall flagpole. He liked flags. And they said, no, you got to have a short one. You can't have a tall one. You got to have a short one. And it's got to measure this many feet up from the ground that it's on. So they wouldn't let him do that. So his solution was to bring in truckloads of dirt and raise the ground so that the flag had prominence. When people went by, they could see a nice flag. Very well maintained always, and the land was always extremely well maintained. Those two things was my basic introduction to learning to think outside the box. And even if it was for the other people's good and your good, even if it was a win-win situation, some people are so stuck in their frame of reference, their old frame of reference, that there's no ability for them to contemplate an opportunity for a new person. It's just was a very big eye-opening thing to me. And given I was one of the few women way back when in finance that had done well, I could relate to that because I was a new person. I was the wrong gender. And it was just very eye-opening. Anyhow, this is the Abundance Oracle. Whatever you're fighting against, look for the win-win situation. If they say, no, 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 you can't do this, you can't do it, figure out how you can do it. And be the best that you can possibly be, better than the rest. So that when it's all completed and said and done, people say, not out loud, maybe we should have allowed this person a little bit more leeway because they're actually doing so much better than we are. Just a thought. And some of you I know I've spoken to personally, and you have told me some of your stories, and I know you have amazing stories. And if you want, share a little bit below. Love you tons. This is the Abundance Oracle. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.